up, witches? So my last video was talking about how I made my wand, so I thought I'd make another video talking about how a witch might utilize their wand. Wands are used to direct and amplify energy. So due to this main function of energy manipulation, this tool can be used in a number of different ways, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. Before we get started, I want to ask you to subscribe and go ahead and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future witchy discussions. So to start off, I want to go ahead and talk about some things to consider when you're either finding or creating your wand. It's okay to purchase your wand instead of making one. It's all about what resonates with you. Personally, I loved making my wand. I was able to make exactly the wand that I wanted, and anytime you make something with your hands, all of your power gets naturally bound to that item. It strengthens the bond between you and that tool. You should also consider what you want your wand to be made out of. What materials are you going to be working with? Is it going to be metal, wood, crystal? All of these materials have different properties, and it's a good idea to put in research to figure out what it is you're drawn to and what powers are calling out to you. For me, I used apple wood. For you, you might want a metal wand. So do consider that and pick something that truly resonates with you. If you want your wand to have amplification properties, I would highly suggest using quartz. Quartz is widely known as an energetic amplifier, and it's used often in the amplification of crystal grids and spells. So definitely take that into consideration when you're picking out your materials. After you acquire your wand, you're going to want to make sure that it's cleansed and consecrated. I'll make a separate video explaining both, but here's the quick rundown. It doesn't really matter how you cleanse your wand as long as you're not doing something to damage it, such as submerging it in water. Some of my favorite ways to cleanse is smoke cleansing, and I'll do this with white sage or juniper. I also like to cleanse using selenite, which is a really great way to cleanse if you're afraid of damaging whatever you're trying to cleanse. You just set the selenite stone next to whatever it is you're trying to cleanse and leave it there for a few hours or maybe a couple days. Consecrating means giving purpose to your tool. This is essentially making your tool sacred. This can be done in a ritual where you state its purpose and enchant it. You could also ask your deity to bless it or do a blessing of the pentacle. After your wand has been cleansed and consecrated, you're going to want to become well acquainted with your wand and have it become a part of you. Here are some ways to grow closer to your wand. Physically admire your wand. Notice all the little details. Hold it in your hand and notice how it feels. Wave it around, practice with it a little bit. Learn your wand like the back of your hand. Spend time with your wand. Hang out with it. Some people might find this a little weird to do with sacred ritual items, but keep it with you whenever you're just hanging around the house. This gives it a chance to hang out in your aura and pick up on your energies. The best way to soul bond with any ritual tool that you work with is to use it. This might seem like a no-brainer, but the more energy you send through your wand, the more of your energy it's going to have. Now let's talk a little bit about how you would actually use a wand. Firstly, you want to make sure you have some type of background in energy manipulation. If you're new, a wand might make it easier or harder to learn energy manipulation. I think it really just depends on the person. If you are struggling with using your wand and getting the energy to flow out of it, then perhaps go back, revisit meditation and energy balls. Really work with your hands and your mind first before you bring in the wand. Now I'll explain a little bit about how I actually get my wand to work. This might be different for other people, but this is what works for me and what gets me results. When I'm using my wand, I'll hold my wand comfortably in my hand. Now, you might be enchanting an item. You might be casting it out. However you're holding your wand, hold it comfortably in your hand. And what I do is I build up energy within my body before I send it anywhere. What I'm doing is focusing on my intent. Now, this intent might be a feeling, such as an emotion, a thought, but I'll build energy with that intent, and I'll use visualization to help me focus on it. Sometimes I imagine this energy to be sparkles, or a beam of light, or perhaps glowing light, whatever it is in your mind that says magic to you at that moment. Visualize that. So I build up all this energy within my body, and I'll start to feel the sensation of energy. It's a little hard to explain, but for me, it's like a tingly feeling, almost like a vibration. So once I feel I've gathered enough energy, I start to push it through my arm, and you'll notice, at least with me, and I've definitely heard about this with other witches, you'll have a receiving hand and you'll have the hand in which you push out your magic power, and I believe it's referred to as your power hand. So I might use this hand to scan a body for energetic properties or a crystal or something like that, but I'll use this hand to cast. You should have a feeling of which hand is which for you, but anyway, so you take the energy and you have it travel through your arm, and you should feel the energy going through your arm and the tingling sensation. Maybe it's a temperature like warm or cold, and then you'll put it into your hand and almost envision your hand glowing with this energy. And then through your hand, push it into the wood of the wand, or whatever your wand is made out of, and then eventually out the tip, which is the main amplification point. And once it's through the tip, depending on what you're doing, you might want to visualize this to help direct it. If you're enchanting an item, you might want to envision sparkles, or perhaps that item glowing. If you're doing something like casting a circle, you might envision like a beam of light coming out of the tip of your wand. Whatever works for you, right? So that's a little bit about how I use my wand. So now that we talked a little bit about how to actually get the energy from your body through the wand and into whatever it is you're enchanting, let's talk about some of the ways that witches actually utilize a wand in their workings. I made a list, and let me just give this disclaimer. There are so many ways that you could utilize a wand, and I could never fit all of them onto one single video or into a single list, but this is just what came to my mind when I was thinking this over. We have circle casting, warding your home, energetic shielding, enchantment of an item or person, grounding, energy scanning, energetic healing, creation of spellwork on the energetic plane without physical representation, linking crystal grids, and general energetic manipulation. I hope this gave you some insight and inspiration. If you have any questions, go ahead and add them to the comment section. I will absolutely answer them. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until next time, witches, happy casting.